Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Honorable members, we don't have enough quorum, and I request the Sergeant at Arms to ring the bell for 10 minutes so that we can alert the other members who are not within. Thank you. Sergeant Atam, I understand we have adequate quorum. Can stop the bell. Good morning, honorable members. Welcome to this morning's sitting. I request the clerk to start us off.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I have a communication to make to you concerning our guests in the gallery. Good morning, honorable members, and welcome to this sitting. I have the following communication to make visitors in the public gallery. Honorable members, I wish to acknowledge the presence of visiting teachers and pupils of St. Stephen's Kikule Primary and Junior Secondary School in Matu Ward, Yatta Sub-County, who have visited the assembly for a learning lesson. I take this opportunity to welcome them to the County Assembly of Machakos. Feel very much welcome, pupils and the teachers. Honorable Judas Ndawa and other honorable members of Yatta Sub-County will be given an opportunity to welcome them on behalf of the Assembly. Thank you, honorable members. You may be seated, pupils. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
We have several papers to be laid down, and I would like to start with the papers to be laid by Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Leader of Majority, to come forward and lay several papers. Honorable Nzioka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following papers on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 5th August 2025. Roman 1, fourth quarter financial statements for the financial year 2024-2025 for the following: A, Machakos County Executive; B, Machakos County Receiver of Revenue; C, Machakos County Fund; D, Machakos County Bursary Fund; E, Machakos County Executive Committee and Chief Officers, Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme; F, Machakos County Climate Change Fund; G, Machakos Municipality; H, Tala Kangundo Municipality; and I, Maboko Municipality. Roman 2, full year report of the financial year 2024-2025 budget implementation for the Department of Roads, Transport and Public Works. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honorable member. Those papers will be committed to different various committees as follows. Papers A, B, C, and E are committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. Paper D to the Education and Social Welfare Committee. Paper F to the Environment and Natural Resources Committee. Paper GHI to the Decentralized Unit and County Administration Committee. For Roman 2, that paper will be committed, and it is hereby committed to the Transport, Road and Public Works Committee. I call upon Honorable Mwoki Musila, Chairperson, Transport, Road and Public Works Committee, to come forward and present another paper. Honorable Ndambuki, you are holding brief. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm holding brief for Honorable Paul Mwoki Musila who is not in today. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 5th August 2025. Report on approval hearing of Mr. Joseph Mutua Ngayai as chairperson of Machakos County Rural and Urban Affordable Housing Committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Another paper is to be laid by Honorable Brian Kisila, Chairperson, Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee. Honorable Kisila.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, Tuesday, 5th August 2025. Report of Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee on vetting of nominees for the position of Tala Kangundo, Machakos, and Mavoko Municipality Board members. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
On notices of motion, I invite Honorable Mwaki Musila once again, the Chairperson, Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee, to come forward and give a notice of motion. I believe, Honorable Ndambuki, you are still holding brief. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to give a notice of motion that, pursuant to Standing Order number 190, Suborder 5, this House adopts the report of Transport, Roads and Public Works Committee on approval hearing of Mr. Joseph Mutua Ngayai as chairperson of the Machakos County Rural and Urban Affordable Housing Committee, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 5th August 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of sections 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017 and section 34 subsection 3 of the Affordable Housing Act 2024. This House approves the nomination of Mr. Joseph Mutua Ngayai as chairperson of the Machakos County Rural and Urban Affordable Housing Committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The other notice of motion is to be laid by Honorable Brian Kisila, Chairperson, Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee. Proceed, Honorable Kisila.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that, pursuant to Standing Order number 195, this House adopts the report of the Committee of Decentralized Units and County Administration on vetting of nominees for the position of board members for Machakos, Mavoko, Kangundo and Tala municipalities, laid on the table of this House on Tuesday, 5th August, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 5, Section 4 and 9 of Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017 and Section 14 of Urban and Areas and Cities Act 2011. This House approves the nomination of persons listed below as board members of respective municipalities. Machakos Municipality, number 1, Josephine Musenya Mwau, member, appointed by Her Excellency the Governor. Number 2, Anas Ali Abdallah Sheikh, member, representing neighborhood associations. 3, Collins Kitaka Kaloki, representing the private sector. Number 4, Reverend Rose Mumbi Kitavi, nominee of Her Excellency the Governor. Number 5, Pastor Honorable Daniel Mutua Muoki, member, representing professionals. Number 6, Damaris Wayualoki, member, nominee of Her Excellency the Governor. Mavoko Municipality Board. Number 1, Lali Kadhuli Mr. member, representing the private sector. Number 2, John Thiongo Mr. member, representing the informal sector. Number 3, Marceline Nimbone Mbelesia, Her Excellency the Governor's nominee, being a member. Number 4, Mohamed Sora Elema, member, Her Excellency the Governor's nominee. Number 5, Juliet Wamiri, member, representing neighborhood associations. Kangundo Tala Municipality. Number 1, Antanas Ndolo Mutinda, member, Her Excellency the Governor's nominee. Number 2, Ellen Mudhoki Jonathan, member, representing professionals. Number 3, Irene Duko, member, representing the private sector. Number 4, Suleiman Maundu Ramadan, member, Her Excellency the Governor's nominee. Number 5, Maureen Mombua Kilonzo, member, representing the informal sector. Number 6, Rafa Ndavi, member, representing neighborhood associations. And number 7, Canon Captain Romana Kihio, member, Her Excellency the Governor's nominee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
We have several statements. And the first one will start by inviting Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Majority Leader, to come forward and make several statements.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on 4th August 2025 to prioritize business for the House as forwarded by committees and honorable members pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 151, Sub-Order 6D. The committee balloted business as follows. Tuesday morning, 5th August 2025 at 10 a.m. A. Statement on status of boreholes in Kangundo East Ward by the Honorable Evelyn Zeki. B. Statement on status of construction of a health facility at Kiundwani AIC in Kibaoni Ward. C. Statement of status of 10 ECD centers in Kibaoni Ward. D. Statement on status of Muka and Kevalani Vocational Training Center, that is VTCs in Kibaoni Ward. E. Statement on status of borehole done by the county government of Machakos in Kibaoni Ward. F. Statement on status of dams at Kibaoni Ward. G. Statement on regularization of land under Portland Cement Company by the Honorable Francis Kavyu. I don't think I'm feeling very well.
It's okay.
I don't think. Sorry.
You can just have a seat. Yeah. I'll request. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let us continue from where the majority has stopped. We are on Tuesday morning, 5th August 2025 at 10 a.m. G. F. Statement of status of dams at Kibaoni Ward by an Honorable Wambua, MCA Kibaoni. G. Statement on regularization of part of land under Portland Cement Company, Honorable Francis Kavyu, MCA Kinani Ward. H. Inquiry report on the statement regarding unauthorized construction of plots, PDP number 56/2018/01 by Honorable Ndwiki, Chairperson, Committee on Lands and Energy. Tuesday afternoon, 5th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m. A. Response to a statement on status of Abulaziz Services and River Level 4 Hospital by Honorable Vincent Mutie, Chairperson, Health and Emergency Services Committee. B. Report on the approval hearing of Mr. Joseph Mutuangayai as the Chairperson of the County Rural and Urban Affordable Housing Committee of Machakos. Honorable Mwoki Musila, Chairperson, Transport and Public Works. Wednesday morning, 6th August 2025 at 10 a.m. Report on the Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee on the vetting of the nominees for the positions of Tala Kangundo, Machakos and Mavoko Municipalities Board members by Honorable Brian Kisila, the Chairperson, Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee. Wednesday afternoon, 6th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Implementation Committee report on implementation of House resolutions by Select Committee on Agriculture regarding implementation status of Mavoko, Kimutwa, Mutituni, and Katoloni slaughterhouses by Honorable Dominic Maida, Chairperson, Implementation Committee. B. Motion on adjournment on the House of Wednesday, 6th August 2025 to accord members time to participate in the devolution conference scheduled for 12th to 15th August 2025 to resume on Tuesday, 19th August 2025 by Honorable Nicholas Zioka, the leader of majority, also the MCA Machakos Central Ward. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just remind you, a loading you made sometimes back, that once these mics are used, they must be sanitized. As we have seen just a minute ago, the majority leader could not be able to read. And the last time I met him, he had a very serious flu. So it may be the cause of him not seeing. So I request that you direct that the mics be sanitized. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very important. I'm sorry about
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
all right, Honorable PK.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Also riding on what Honorable Ndawa and said, Madam Speaker, you could also ask Honorable Ndawa to donate one of his glasses to majority leader because he was complaining, and what we could see was just say this. So it could be the eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Majority.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just don't know what happened, but my vision became blurred.
Yeah.
But I can confirm now I'm okay. I can see everyone, including the kids. And also to report to you that the Honorable Mike is purporting to be a doctor. And he had brought me some medication. And trust you me, I'll not take anything from my Honorable Mike. It could be poison. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I can tell you that one is not, is a quack doctor. I know him as an engineer. Yeah, sorry about that, Honorable Majority. Since you've confirmed you're okay, I think, but I'm not going to abandon the issue of Honorable Ndawa of sanitizing these microphones. So, Sergeant at Arms, make sure that any time the microphone is used, it is sanitized. It's important for precautions. Yeah, thank you. Let's proceed. At this point, I would like to invite Honorable Evelyn Nzeki, MCA Kangundo East Ward, to come forward and present a statement. Proceed, Honorable Nzeki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to assume wherever the majority has undergone is not contentious. Honorable Speaker, that I aware that Article 43, Sub-Article 1D of the Constitution guarantees every Kenyan the right to clean and save water in adequate quantities. Further aware that Article 56E provides for affirmative action to ensure marginalized groups have reasonable access to water. noting that Part 2 of the 4th schedule to the Constitution assigns the responsibility for water and sanitation services to county government, cognizant that in 2018, this assembly approved the Machakos water policy, whose core objectives include A, ensuring sustainable water availability to meet the county's cultural and socioeconomic development aspirations. B, guaranteeing equitable distribution of quality water in sufficient quantities to all consumers. C, expanding the coverage of water services within the county. Acknowledging Section 14A of the Machakos County Government Water and Sanitation Act 2014, which affirms residents' right to safe and clean water for domestic use within reasonable proximity, as well as access to water for agricultural and livestock purposes, with equitable distribution across urban and rural regions. Concerns that several boreholes in the Kangundo East Ward, namely Manyata Primary School borehole, a special needs institution for children living with disabilities, ABC Miu Kiamba Secondary School borehole, which serves not only the secondary school and the primary schools, but also a dispensary and the wider sub-location. Kadhome borehole, located at a local dispensary. Matumani borehole, which was drilled but remains capped and unutilized. Further noting that the boreholes remain non-functional or inadequately maintained, thereby impeding residents' access to clean and reliable water. Honorable Speaker, I wish to seek a statement from the Chairperson Water and Irrigation Committee on the following matters. What measures is the county government undertaking to rehabilitate, equip, or operationalize these boreholes in the Kangundo East Ward during the 2025-2026 financial year to ensure consistent water supply for the residents? What additional water-related projects are planned for the implementation in Kangundo East Ward during the 2025-2026 financial year to provide residents with the clean and safe water within reasonable reach? Madam Speaker, the hot and dry season is almost with us. Most of the water ponds, wells, and springs are almost drying. The sooner the committee works on it, the better for the people of Kangundo East Ward. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. This particular statement is hereby committed to the Water and Irrigation Committee, which should work very hard to respond before this House by 2nd September 2025. Members of the committee, please expedite on that matter. The next statement is by Honorable Paul Wambua, MCA Kibaoni Ward, and I invite Honorable Wambua to come forward and present that statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, members, and I hope my vision will not be blurred. Madam Speaker, I'll start with a statement. I have several. So I start with a statement on the status of construction of a health facility at Kiundwani AAC in Kibaoni Ward. Madam Speaker, aware that the Machakos County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP 2023-2027, stands as the principal strategic framework guiding the development agenda of the county government over a 5-year period. Aware that Part 2, 2A and C of the 4th schedule to the Constitution of Kenya provides that the functions of the county government include health services, county health services, including the health facilities and the promotion of primary health care, county transport, including county roads, county public works and services, including water and sanitation services, county planning and development, including electricity and gas reticulation and energy regulation. Aware that Section 126 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 it is mandated that every county government shall prepare and submit to the National Treasury an annual development plan, CADP, for the ensuing financial year. Aware that the Machakos County Assembly approved the County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP, 2023 to 2027, incorporating inputs from various stakeholders and the citizens of Machakos County. Notably, the CIDP includes a proposal for the construction of a health facility at Kiundwani AIC in Kibaoni Ward, Kiundwani Village. Additionally, the ADP for 2023-2024 and 2024-2025 had also incorporated the construction of this health facility at Kiundwani AIC. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the standing order number 41 of the Assembly Standing Orders, I wish to seek a statement from the Chairperson Health and Emergency Committee concerning the following matters. One, what plans has the department undertaken to ensure the construction of Kiundwani Health Facility? And two, did the department allocate funds for the construction of the facility following the approval of the ADP? If not, I would like a justification on the same. Madam Speaker, just to note that this facility had been in our county government ADP for every year that we have served. This is the third year, and it's also captured in the CIDP. And so far, nothing has been mentioned or actioned on the same. So I would like a sufficient response from the department. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That particular statement is hereby committed to the Health and Emergency Services Committee to respond on or before 2nd September 2025. I invite Honorable Paul Wambua once again to come and present another statement. Honorable Wambua.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. When I just finished the other statement, Honorable Nzeki was telling me that her eyes were itching, and she was advising me to sit down for a short while and feel whether mine are itching. But my grandmother is taking very great care of me from heaven, so I cannot be affected by such trivial things. Honorable Speaker, I want to present a statement on the status of 10 ECD centers in Kibaoni Ward. And Madam Speaker, aware that Article 553, subsection 1B of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that every child has the right to free and compulsory basic education. Further, aware that the fourth schedule of the Constitution assigns the function of early childhood education to the county governments. Cognizant that Section 26(1) of the Basic Education Act 2013 provides that the county government shall be responsible for the establishment and maintenance of early childhood education and development centers, ECDs, and concerned that some ECD centers in Kibaoni Ward, namely Ndwango ECD, Kiteteni ECD, Ikuni ECD, Mutula ECD, Mudhei ECD, Kenze ECD, Kikumene ECD, Kivalani ECD, and Kadhiani ECD have dilapidated infrastructure with structures that are in a wanting state and in some cases almost collapsing, thereby endangering the safety and learning environment of the young learners. Further concerned that Chandui ECD Center, which is of vital early childhood education in the area and was proposed in the ADP and CIDP, is yet to be constructed despite the urgent community need. Noting that there is a growing shortage of ECD teachers within the ward and the county at large, and that there is urgent need for employment of more ECD teachers in the financial year 25-26. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 41, I wish to seek a statement from the Chairperson, Education and Social Services Committee on the following. One, the current status of infrastructure of the aforementioned 10 ECD centers in Kibaoni Ward and measures that the county government is taking to renovate them. Secondly, when the county government plans to commence the construction of the Chandui ECD Center. And thirdly, the steps the department is taking to ensure employment of new ECD teachers within the financial year 2025-2026 in accordance with the staffing needs of Kibaoni Ward and the county at large. Madam Speaker, especially on the issue of ECD teachers, I note that since we were elected in 2022, the county government has not employed any ECD teacher. Madam Speaker, we may build very good ECD centers, but without the right personnel to guide the learners, then we cannot be able to produce good learners to proceed to the next level. And I can confirm that the teachers, the head teachers in the primary schools in my area have been long having a problem of having semi-prepared or rather pupils who are not well prepared to go to the next level due to the lack of ECD teachers. I have also been in touch with my teachers in Kibaoni Ward, and most of them, especially those who are employed in 2013, have never received promotions or pay rise since they were employed. Madam Speaker, it's a very serious thing that the county needs to look into, and if it were for me, this house will take that matter very seriously, the employment of ECD teachers, Madam Speaker, because our learners' foundation is based on what those teachers instill in them. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. That statement is hereby committed to the Education and Social Services Committee to respond on or before 2nd September 2025. I invite Honorable Paul Wambua once more to come forward and present another statement. Honorable Wambua.
Once more, thank you, Madam Speaker. Here again to present a statement touching on the development of Kivalani Vocational Training Center and Kibaoni and Muka VTC in Kibaoni Ward. Madam Speaker, aware that Article 43(1)(f) of the Constitution of Kenya guarantees every person the right to education, and further aware that Article 55 of the Constitution mandates the state to take measures, including affirmative programs, action programs, to ensure that the youth access relevant education and training. Further aware that the Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET Act 2013 provides a framework for governance, coordination, and regulation of vocational education and training institution in Kenya, and the County Vocational Education and Training Bill outlines the specific roles of county governments in establishing, managing, and funding vocational training centers within their jurisdiction, and recognizing that the fourth schedule of the Constitution assigns the responsibility of village polytechnics and vocational training centers to county governments, and further cognizant that Muka Vocational Training Center, though developed, continues to suffer from poor infrastructure, lack of sufficient learning materials, inadequate staffing, and when I talk about inadequate staffing, the center has only one trainer who is currently on maternity leave. So I can confirm that nothing is going on in that center. Where was I? And recognizing that the fourth schedule of the Constitution assigns the responsibility of village polytechnic and vocational training centers to the county governments, cognizant that Muka Vocational Training Center, though developed, continues to suffer from poor infrastructure, lack of sufficient learning materials, inadequate staffing, and lacks fencing to ensure the safety and order within the institution. Concerned that Kivalani Vocational Training Center remains incomplete, stalled, despite being listed under the County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP, thus hampering youth access to skills, development, and employment opportunities in the area. Honorable Speaker, the youth in Muka, Kivalani, and indeed the entire county deserve access to well-equipped and functional vocational training centers to enable them gain skills necessary for gainful employment and sustainable livelihoods. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 41, I wish to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Committee of Education and Social Services regarding the status of these two vocational training centers in Muka and Kivalani on the following. 1. What specific interventions has the county government undertaken to improve infrastructure at Muka VTC, particularly the construction of classrooms, administration offices, and a dormitory block, as well as fencing of the institution? Secondly, what steps have been taken to ensure the supply of adequate learning equipment and materials to facilitate effective learning? Thirdly, what plans are in place to ensure the facility is well staffed with qualified instructors and support personnel? Fourthly, what the county government is doing to ensure the completion and operationalization of Kivalani VTC, including timelines for resumption of construction and full commissioning. Fifth, whether vocational training centers in the county have been receiving county government capitation, and if so, how much has been allocated per student in the past 3 financial years? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. This particular statement is hereby committed to the Education and Social Services Committee to respond on or before 2nd September 2025. May I invite again Honorable Paul Wambua to come forward and present another statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, once more. I'm here again to do a statement on the status of boreholes done by the county government of Machakos in Kibaoni Ward. Madam Speaker, aware that the Article 43, subsection 1D of the Constitution guarantees to all Kenyans the right of clean and safe water in adequate quantities. Further aware that Article 56E of the same Constitution provides for affirmative action for marginalized groups to ensure reasonable access to water. Further informed that Part 2 of the 4th schedule of the Constitution places water and sanitation services squarely under the mandate of county governments. Further, recognizing that in 2018, this assembly approved the Machakos Water Policy 2018, whose key objectives were: 1, to achieve sustainable water availability for all purposes for attainment of cultural and socio-economic development aspirations within the county; B, to ensure equitable supply of quality water in adequate amount to all water consumers; thirdly, to improve the water services coverage to water users in the county. Considering that Section 14A of the Machakos County Government Water and Sanitation Act 2014 makes a provision for residents of Machakos County to have access to safe and clean water for domestic use within reasonable distance, accessible water for agriculture and livestock, and adequate, equitable distribution of water between consumers in urban and rural areas. Cognizant that there are boreholes in Kibaoni Ward, namely Kwambalo borehole, Matolane borehole, Kwambiti borehole, Kilala primary borehole, drilled and equipped by the county government in Kibaoni Ward, and are currently non-functionable, thereby limiting residents' access to water. Honorable Speaker, I wish to seek a statement from the Chairperson Water and Irrigation Committee on the following matters. 1. What measures the county government is undertaking to rehabilitate the said boreholes in order to restore access to water by the residents of Kibaoni Ward? And 2, what the department is doing to ensure the water from these boreholes is reticulated to ensure residents of Kibaoni Ward have access to water within reasonable distance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That particular statement is hereby committed to the Water and Irrigation Committee to respond on or before 2nd September 2025. I invite again Honorable Paul Wambua, MCA Kibaoni Ward, to come and make another statement.
Finally, Madam Speaker, I wish to make a statement on the status of dams in Kibaoni Ward. Madam Speaker, aware that Article 43(1)(d) of the Constitution guarantees to all Kenyans the right to clean and safe water in adequate quantities. Further aware that Article 56(e) of the Constitution provides for affirmative action for marginalized groups to ensure reasonable access to water. Further informed that Part 2 of the 4th schedule of the Constitution places water and sanitation services squarely under the mandate of county governments. Further recognizing that in 2018, this Assembly approved the Water Policy 2018, whose key objectives were: 1, to achieve sustainable water availability for all purposes for attainment of cultural and socio-economic development aspirations within the county; 2, to ensure equitable supply of quality water in adequate amounts to all water consumers; and C, to improve water services coverage to water users in the county. Acknowledging Section 14A of the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014, which affirms residents' rights to safe and clean water for domestic use within reasonable proximity, as well as access to water for agricultural and livestock purposes with equitable distribution across urban and rural regions. Cognizant that the 4 dams in Kibaoni Ward, namely Muthei Dam, Kwa Matinga Dam, Kwa Mukala Dam, Kwa Wenzi Dam in Kasengela, which were earmarked in the County Integrated Development Plan CIDP and ADP for desilting, have had their embankments eroded and now heavily silted. This has severely reduced their storage capacity and by extension residents' access to water. Honorable Speaker, I wish to seek a statement from the Chairperson Water and Irrigation Committee on the following. 1, what measures the county government is undertaking to desilt the dams and reconstruct the eroded embankments in the 25-2026 financial year to restore water access for residents of Kibaoni Ward. And secondly, what additional water-related projects are planned for implementation in Kibaoni Ward during the 2025-2026 financial year to ensure provision of clean and safe water within reasonable distance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That particular statement is hereby committed to the Water and Irrigation Committee to respond on or before 2nd September 2025. And I want to take this opportunity to applaud Honorable Paul Wambua so much for making all these statements and all the projects stated here within the ADP. And that is how we need to hold the government accountable and do our work as oversight body. So thank you so much, Honorable Wambua. Keep it up. The next statement is by Honorable Francis Kavyu, MCA Kinani Ward, and the Minority Leader. Honorable Kavyu, please proceed with your statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, aware that under the 4th schedule of the Constitution, county government are responsible for county planning and development, including statistics, land survey and mapping, boundaries and fencing, housing, electricity, gas reticulation, and energy regulation. Further aware that Article 66(1) provides that the state may regulate the use of any land or any interest in or right over any land in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, and public health or land use planning. Aware that Section 211, the National Land Policy, requires that the government should facilitate regularization of settlement in public and community land with an aim of upgrading and developing as well as establishing a legal framework and procedure to transfer of unutilized land and land belonging to absentee landowners to those living in informal settlement. informed that in 2011, after getting approval from the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, National Government, the Portland Cement Company entered into the process of regularization of part of its land earlier given by the national government. Aware that regularization involves legalizing the procedure of disposing the land to individuals by doing survey work, subdivision, and registration of any interested in purchasing the partitioned land parcels to help in clearing a debt facility obtained from Kenya Commercial Bank. Remembering that in 2011, Portland Company transferred to Kenya Commercial Bank the land parcel LR numbers 8786 and 8784 in part in order to pay off a debt of 6.8 billion, informed that during the financial year 2024-2025, the Kenya Commercial Bank engaged stakeholders in Kinani Ward with a view of sharing information on requirement and the progress of land regularization. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 40 of the Assembly Standing Orders, I wish to seek statement from the County Executive Member, Department of Lands, Energy, Housing, Urban Planning, on the following matters. The strategy that the department has put in place to ensure that Kenya Commercial Bank adheres to the relevant laws in engaging the stakeholders and residents of Kinani Ward when undertaking the regularization process. B, information on the procedure on how the stakeholders' ownership documents the procedure on how the stakeholders will obtain ownership document after meeting the requirements provided. 2, any pending land rates owed to the county. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And maybe, Madam Speaker, just to expound, the parcel that is in question is a parcel of land that has been in occupation by the said residents since the year 2011. And Madam Speaker, when we had that public engagement that was led by the county commissioner, the agreement was that those already in occupants of the land were to be given a priority. But Madam Speaker, I wish to request the House that this matter is worked on with urgency, because that situation has already changed, and we have had several members whose homesteads have already been demolished to pave way for, I don't know what criteria is being used, but those who are closer to the Mombasa highway, most of them have lost their homes to pave way for, I don't want to call them the big, but people with a lot of money. And Madam Speaker, there is a valuation that has been done by the county government, and there is a range within which the price of land should range within. But what we are currently experiencing there is some sort of exploitation, because if you look at their counterpart, who is the original owner of the land, who is East Africa Portland Cement, they have a similar parcel within the same geographical area that is also undergoing the same process, and they're only separated by a road. And the Portland Cement Company is regularizing at a cost of 750,000. Then just allow a parcel that now is in question, just adjacent to that, the same equal parcel of land is being disposed at a cost of 2.5 million, which we feel that is unfair, because a regularization process is normally intended to ensure that the disadvantaged and the people already in occupants are settled in a seamless manner. That is not what we have experienced, and that's why we are coming to this house, so that we can get a redress, and also so that the county government of Machakos also ensures that the citizens, the people of Machakos living there, are not exploited, and also the process of how, once you have paid, how you are going to get the legal ownership document is also not very clear. Kenya Commercial Bank has not been able to provide that information, and the last time they came to this house before the Committee on Lands, the Chief Executive Officer of KCB Bank made a commitment and promised that they are going to do the regularization in a humane way, and they are also going to ensure that they give the land at the best prices, that is the market prices. So that is our plea, Madam Speaker, and we hope that the county government will take swift action to ensure that our people do not continue suffering in the hands of rogue officers who have teamed up with KCB. And Madam Speaker, recently we had one of the homes, just because somebody was repairing their fence, the officers from the Athi River police station, in collaboration with some the broker or the person in charge on the side of KCB, they invaded that home and threw some tear gas inside a house of one of the residents in that need. So we have suffered enough, and we are making that appeal to the county government of Machakos to intervene and make sure and guarantee the safety and the interest of our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. This particular statement is committed to the Lands and Energy Committee to respond on or before 2nd September 2025. And I wish just to inform or request the Committee on Lands and Energy, under the leadership of Honorable Ndwiki, to move with speed. You can hear there is a lot of irregularities taking place. There is so much exploitation taking place in that particular place, and it's important that ownership of that land is established as a matter of priority. Please move with speed and establish that. Thank you so much. Next order.
Order number 8. Motion, approval of inquiry report on the statement regarding unauthorized construction on plot PDP number 56/2018/01.
At this point, I would like to invite the Honorable Daniel Ndwiki, Chairperson, Lands and Energy Committee, to come forward and move this motion. Honorable, go ahead.
Madam Speaker, we don't seem to have quorum in the House. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
This issue of quorum is so elusive. May I request then the bell to be rung? For 8 minutes only, to call back the members. I'm sure they're just within.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As we wait for members to come.
Understand we cannot have a discussion when the bell is being rung.
Yes, I just want to draw to your attention that unless we are in just time, we may not be able to conclude whatever is captured in the order paper.
Okay.
So for this matter, I'm raising on standing order number 27, which says...
I would request you allow members to come back
Yes.
then I'll give you that opportunity immediately.
Okay, well noted.
All right. Understand we have quorum. And I will, before Honorable Ndwiki takes off, I'd request Honorable Ndawa to take up.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. That aware that standing order number 27, provide that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 for the morning sitting. Aware that standing order number 27, sub order 3, provide that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Aware that standing order number 27, sub order 4, requires a motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of appointment. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the motion that this House resolves to extend sitting time until the business in the order paper is concluded. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I call upon the Majority Leader to second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader. I now propose the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. I now put the question that this House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business of the day is concluded. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. Say nay. The ayes have it. I'm sorry. Honorable Ndwiki, take this.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Daniel Ndwiki, MCA Syokimau Mlolongo Ward. I stand here to
move the motion.
To move the motion
Yes.
on approval of inquiry report on the statement regarding unauthorized construction of a plot PDP 56/2018/01. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that, pursuant to Standing Order 19 sub order 5, this House adopts the Committee on Lands and Energy Inquiry Report on statement regarding unauthorized construction of plot PDP number 56/2018/01 laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Call a seconder.
I call upon Honorable Kaloi to second the motion.
Thank you, honorable members. I now propose the question that, pursuant to Standing Order 190, Sub-Order 5, this House adopts the Committee on Lands and Energy Inquiry Report on the statement regarding unauthorized construction of plot number PDP number 56/2018/01 laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Before I invite members to debate on this motion, I request the mover of the motion to highlight on the report. Honorable Ndwiki, please highlight on the report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. With your permission, I wish to enlighten about the background information of the statement. Also, I go to 4 committee observation, then I go to committee findings, and then, Madam Speaker, I conclude with the committee recommendations and conclusion.
Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, The Committee on Lands and Energy is established on the County Fiscal I repeat, Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Lands and Energy is established pursuant to the second schedule of standing orders and is mandated to deal with all matters related to county fiscal planning and development, land survey and mapping, boundaries and fencing, electricity and gas regulations and energy legislation. The specific assignment of the committee is specified under the Standing Order 19/5, which mandate the committee to investigate, inquire into, and report all matters related to the mandate and the assigned departments, make reports and recommendation to the Assembly, among other assignments in the stated standing order.
Committee observation on page
Yes,
8.
Madam Speaker. Let's go to the committee observation. The letter written by the Assembly to the county secretary directing the executive to halt the construction with immediate effect on the Assembly plot, which was never responded back. Instead, construction continued up to the date when the committee instructed the CECM Department of Devolution to stop the ongoing construction of the contested plot PNDP 56/2018/01. The CSM confirmed to the committee that the former Chief of SAR Inspectorate Colonial Bidhi authorized the construction, and when asked there was approval of the Assembly, he said he was not aware. On checking from the Assembly documents, there was no letter or forum where he said the Chief of SAR sought approval of or consulted the Assembly. Number 3, the CSM did not have any document to challenge the fact that the plot PNDP 56/2018/01 belonged to the Assembly. Instead, expressly confessed that he had no information where this plot is located. He, however, provided information for the different plot PNDP 5611/01, which, according to him, is the plot where the fire station stands and is in 0.036 hectare in size. According to the CSM, the constructed building is not a new building. Rather, it is a renovation of existing buildings. This information was contradictory, since the structure was started from the scratch as the new construction done from original bare land. The Assembly provided sufficient documents to prove that the plot in question belongs to the County Assembly of Machakos, and due process was followed for transfer of the County Assembly to the County Assembly. Those documents include the allotment letter from the National Land Commission, invoice received, and the map plan plot PNDP 56/2018/01 of size 1.0 hectare. The committee confirmed that the building under construction and stopped as directed by the committee during the meeting held between the CECM Devolution and the committee on 29th July 2024. The Assembly in the financial year 2023-2024 had budgeted to construct the office block and car park on the plot. Hence, this grabbing inconvenienced the Assembly to the extent that the Assembly was unable to absorb adequately its development budget. The plot PNDP 56/2018/01 as per the map is 1.0 hectare in size and extends to border labor office. This land as other offices such as fire station and the small claims court being utilized by the inspectorate unit. Committee findings. The plot PNTP 562018/01 1 hectare belongs to the County Assembly of Machakos, is supported by number 1, the letter of allotment from the National Land Commission and raised to Machakos County Government with ref number 310147/120 dated 4th February 2019, granting the plot to Machakos County Government whose size is 1.0 hectare. The map stroke the approved plan showing the County Assembly land size is 1.0 hectare. Is indicated in the allotment letter, stretching all the way to border the labor office. Due process for the transfer of the plot by the National Land Commission to the County Assembly of Machakos was followed, as confirmed by the letter. Thank you. I will repeat, Madam Speaker. B, due process for the transfer of the plot by the National Land Commission to the County Assembly of Machakos was followed, as confirmed by number 1, letter of allotment from the National Land Commission addressed to Machakos County Government with ref 310147/120 dated 4th February 2019, granting the plot to Machakos County Government whose size is 1 hectare. 2, letter from the county coordinator, National Land Commission to the clerk of the County Assembly of Machakos, ref NLC/MKS allocations VL11/71 dated 10th February 2020, enclosing the above allotment letter ref number 301 ref number 310147/120, requesting the clerk to prepare the acceptance letter for the banker's check. Number 3, fee received invoice number 321926 and check number 040381 indicated for payment of Kenya shillings 6,850 as directed by the allotment letter. C, the submission of the CSM devolution did not relate in any way the assembly plot in question. The CSM presented information for the plot PNTV 561101 of size 0.36 hectare, which is said is the plot number for the fire station, and which was presented by the Transition Authority in 2013 through the land over report. The assembly plot number is PDP number 562018/01, size 1 hectare. Transfer was done by the National Land Commission in 2018 and 2019. This shows the plot PDP 561101 size 0.036 hectare fire station represented by the CSM devolution was amalgamated to be part of the assembly land PNTP number 562018/01 of size 1.0 hectare during transfer process. This fact can be supported by the map plan confirms assembly plot being 1.0 hectare by size and stretching all the way to border the labor office. D, the CSM, the fact that the CECM during the committee meeting did not have any information related to the plot PDP number 56/2018/01 and corresponding ownership document. The approval process for the new building, which he claimed was done was done was an illegal process according to the committee, since the party undertaking the construction is not the bona fide owner of the plot in question. The county executive of Machakos did not challenge the fact that plot PDP 56/2018/01 belongs to the County Assembly of Machakos. This is confirmed by the fact that the letter from the Assembly to the County Secretary, Ref MKS ADM/CALPL 1/13 dated 28 May 2024, informing the County Executive to cease all development activities in the said plot of the land, but the County Secretary did not respond to this letter. Further, the CECM Department of Devolution, during committee sittings held 29 July 2024, was also unable to challenge this fact that he had no single document or information related to the said plot. Committee recommendations. Honorable Speaker, Section 12, subsection 7A of the County Government Act 2012 empowers the County Assembly Service Board with the responsibility of providing services and facilities to ensure efficient and effective functioning of the County Assembly. Further, Section 32, subsection 1 of the County Assembly Service Act 2017 bestows the County Assembly Service Board with the responsibility of being custodians of assembly assets, and of which land is one of those key assets. In line with these above provisions, together with committee observations and findings, the committee makes the following recommendations. 1. That the County Assembly Service Board should issue the Department of Devolution with a notice to vacate and stoppage of the further construction for the building stated in the statement on the grounds of being constructed on Assembly Plot PDP 56/2018/01 without consultation of the County Assembly Service Board. Number 2, as directed by the National Land Commission through the letter Ref NLC/MKS allocations VOL 11/71 dated 10th February 2020, the County Assembly Service Board should get in touch with the county surveyor to undertake survey on the plot and prepare the necessary survey information to support registration of the plot. Number 3, the County Assembly Service Board should give notice of vacation to the occupants of the plot PDP 56/2018/01 that is the fire station and the small claim court, to enable the assembly undertake the planned development projects on the said plot. Number 4, the assembly should initiate the process of undertaking development of the said plot as earlier planned and demolish the stone fence just opposite to the new administration block, then secure the whole plot size 1 hectare using perimeter wall to prevent further interferences. Conclusion and acknowledgement. Honorable Speaker, Article 179 and 185 recognize the County Executive and the County Assembly, each with clearly defined constitutional functions. To ensure smooth service delivery, each of those arms of the county government must adhere to the principle of separation of powers and employ consultative approach. Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the offices of the Speaker and of the Clerk and of the County Assembly for the logistical and technical assistance provided to the honorable members of the committee's secretariat in carrying out the assignment. The committee is appreciative to the committee members for their dedication to the inquiry process of the South Statement. Special thanks to Honorable Brian Kisila, MCA Mwala, Makutano Ward, for exercising his constitutional oversight responsibility by seeking the statement under Article 185, Sub-Article 3, and standing under 41, Sub-Order 2C. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Committee of the Land and Energy, it is my pleasure to table before these honorables this inquiry report on the statement regarding unauthorized construction of PDP number 56/2018/01. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ndwiki. May I invite now members to debate on this matter. Honorable Ndawa, Honorable Kavio, Honorable Douglas, Honorable PK, in that order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Before I give my input on the business before the House, I want to take this opportunity to welcome a team. I have a team of 33, about 5 teachers and 28 students from my ward. That is St. Stephen, Kekule Primary School. The team is led by one Mr. Mukilia, yes. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for allowing my student to come and see what happens in this house. Honorable Speaker, I want to encourage the pupil that when I'm seated here, I can see a governor seated there. I can see an MP seated there. And I can see an MCA with a rep. Those who are seated can occupy any position, any elective position in this country. So I want to encourage them also to develop interest in politics and also be very serious in their academic studies. It is only studying very well that one can occupy the positions I've mentioned. So, Honorable Speaker, I know when Mheshimiwa Paul Moli was seeking statements about ECD classrooms, they were asking themselves, what about our school? I know that is what they end in their mind. Honorable Speaker, without going back to that, it is only fair that whatever is captured in the CNDP and it's captured in the NDP should be done without further delay.
Very important.
All those projects, including their ECD classroom in their school, is captured in the CIDP and also in the NDP. And it is not one NDP. The first NDP, second, and the third NDP. So, Honorable Speaker, the House also need to move the speed to ensure that those who are not following the timelines and the constitutional set rules do what is required. Coming to the business before the House, Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Chair, together with the committee members, for a job well done. They burnt the midnight oil to ensure that we have a comprehensive report which is self-explanatory. I'm supporting the report partially. Let it go on record. The reason I'm saying partially is because the buildings which are said or which have been proposed to be demolished, as we talk, the MACHAKOS Central MCA does not have an office. And one of the building is standing in the said plot. So, Honorable Speaker, I would request, if we can consider, instead of demolishing, we allocate that building, the first one which is next to the wall, to the Honorable Majority Leader to occupy as the ward, MACHAKOS ward office. Because if we demolish, when the time it comes for him to have a ward office, we will spend a lot of resources. And maybe the resources which have been set for his office can be utilized to do something else. So I'm requesting the committee and this honorable house, before we demolish, let us think of our brother. Let us think of Machakos locals. They need somewhere where they can visit their MCA. On the other hand, Honorable Speaker, for a building start from the foundation to the roofing stage, that means there were gaps. As an assembly, we slept in our class because the buildings were not built in a day. A team came there. They measured. They started the foundation. They laid the foundation. A slab was put. Then they started constructing. It is only after roofing that the assembly is noticing that somebody has encroached on the assembly land. Honorable Speaker, I believe the assembly has an inventory book of all the properties owned by the assembly. So, Honorable Speaker, I would request your office to direct that those who are concerned should be vigilant not to have this happen again, because we may find other people encroaching on the other end of the assembly land. So, Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I want to ask, what is the correlation? What is the correlation between the county executive and the county assembly? The county government of Machakos consists of two arms, that is the assembly and the executive. And Honorable Speaker, as we say, the county executive should demolish this house or these buildings. We should also remember that in other wards, including Matu.
Point of order.
Including Matu.
Point of order.
Yes.
Granted.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to guide my senior that the committee did not recommend for demolition of buildings, but we recommended that the perimeter wall being joined as a one whole, so that there seem to be not having some deficiencies. So there is no recommendation for demolition of any building as per our report. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Well noted, Madam Speaker.
That's well guided.
Yes. And even demolition, Madam Speaker. If you build on somebody's land, you can only demolish that structure after getting permission from the owner of the land. That is what the law says. You go and construct a building somewhere, land doesn't belong to you. If it comes to issue of demolition, you can only go and get permission, because that property which is within that land belongs to the owner of the land. So, Honorable Speaker, I was saying,
Let me guide that further as a lawyer.
yes,
That the law says that any development that is on a land that is registered to somebody, it belongs to the owner, the registered owner. So there is no even need of arguing with the executive over this matter. It is the land of the county assembly. And the property standing on it belongs to the county assembly of Machakos.
thank you for that clarity. In fact, that is exactly what I was saying.
Yes.
So, finally, Honorable Speaker, I was saying Machakos County has 40 wards. And out of 40 wards, I believe most of the wards have ward offices. And where we constructed those ward offices, the land does not belong to the county assembly. In fact, we just went and pleaded with the county executive to allow us to construct those buildings. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm requesting that we have a good, cordial relationship between us as an assembly and the executive, so that we don't create another problem. Because when solving one problem, you are likely to cause another one. So let us tread carefully. I support now fully. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to pick where Honorable Ndawa has left, Madam Speaker, I wish also to inform him that the lands where ward officers are lying, those are not individual lands, they are public land, and public land can be utilized for any public use with the necessary approvals. So we never begged. Each individual office that has been constructed at those ward, if you follow, you'll find that they followed the due process, they were approved, and there were approvals to have them done. So we never begged. We followed the right procedure, and by the virtue that, Madam Speaker, that we have ward officers sitting on public lands, that does not give the county executive of Machakos the leeway to come and encroach a land that is clearly designated for the county assembly public use. The same way, we cannot wake up today just because there is that working relationship between the two arms of the government. There is the doctrine of separation of powers. We cannot wake up today and just because, let's say, for example, the majority leader requires an office, we go and do an office inside White House where the county executive headquarters are there. So as long as we want that relationship, there must be respect for the separation of powers. And secondly, on the issue of granting the offices to the majority leader, who is the MCA Machakos Central, Madam Speaker, I think we have standards and designs how ward offices are supposed to look. You cannot give those wooden houses which are used as a housing the fire station for the member for Machakos Central to be using. It deserves a good office, an office that has dignity and that reflects the people of Machakos Central. So if we have to do an office for the Central Ward people, it should match the status and the caliber of the other ward offices that are there. Because this is the town, and it's the ward town, and it also houses the county assembly. So we should not give the majority leader an office that is wooden and that has been there even before independence. These are the offices that were being used during the colonial era. So it needs a modern office. So
I think the member just meant that it could be housed there meanwhile as we build for him a classy office.
No. Those wooden offices do not fit the status. That is the
point of information.
Isn't there a new structure there? There is a new structure.
Point of information.
There is no new structure, Madam Speaker.
There is.
It is a structure that is on progress. So it is not yet a office that can host somebody. It doesn't have windows. And also, Madam Speaker, there is the issue of audit queries. How are we going to account, because it doesn't have windows, is he going to do it from his own office? If the county assembly comes in and decide to complete the building, how we are going to account for the finances when the audit period comes? So as long as we want to do an office for him,
Point of information, Madam
away from the office.
I think the point is home.
Yes, away from that.
A good office for you.
Yes, that is what I was emphasizing.
Speaker, if you allow me. Speaker, if you allow me.
Okay, all right.
The Honorable Kavu is training a lot, and I want to assist him. You know, you don't check the status of a teeth of a free goat. You first of all take the goat, and then do a meal out of it first, as you look for a better goat. So I would happily accept that
office the way it is.
Yeah, but no,
Yes.
the County Assembly Service Board approves for
A better office.
a better office, but in the meanwhile, they finish that so that I occupy it. That
Yes.
is what I meant.
Thank you. Thank you. That should be put under consideration.
It's okay, Madam Speaker, but the structure has no doors. It still has an open roof. So unless he wants to occupy it in that state, because where are we going to get those extra funds? No, it does. You don't take a goat that has diarrhea just because it has been given for free. Even sometimes it might be poison. So, but away from the issue of the office, I know the assembly has a plan to ensure that the honorable member gets a dignified and a good office. Madam Speaker, back to the report. The chief officer in question, from the report, it is portraying a lot of ignorance, because if the officer is not checked, in future, he might go and do some development on a private land, and the county will end up getting sued. So it is very wrong, and it's the same officer at some point who disrespected a member of this house, feeling that he was superior. I think he felt that that was not enough, and felt that he had the powers to come and take the land that belongs to the county assembly. And Madam Speaker, this assembly must be accorded the respect that it deserves, because the action itself shows lack of respect to this honorable house, and also the county the county assembly service board. It is also wrong that somebody will come, start a development inside a property that is designated for this assembly, and the county assembly service board saw no any harm until the honorable member raised the issue. So, Madam Speaker, we need to be on our toe and ensure and prove to the members of public, because if we cannot defend ourselves, if we cannot protect what is ourselves, then the people we represent, who we are supposed to ensure that their interests are well taken care of, will be in jeopardy if we cannot defend ourselves. And I support the report. Madam Speaker, there is a lot of gaps. We still have honorable members sharing offices because the block is full. So that is an ideal land for expansion, so that every member can have their own office. So that is the place where we need to expand. And the same way, the county government normally pay, I don't know whether it is rent or it's rates, to the national government for the land. For instance, like the office of the deputy governor, where they are housed by the agricultural corporation, the county government normally pays rent for occupying that house. So even as we issue the notice of vacation, if they are not ready to move, then we need to start charging them for utilizing our land. So it is not only vacating. If they don't have an alternative, for the time being, we also need to write a demand so that they start paying, because we have a deficit in our budget. So we have given them enough time for free. So I recommend from now henceforth, if they'll continue using that land upon the expiry of the notice to vacate, if they wish to continue using, then we should do evaluation so that we can start getting some revenue. There is no harm if the county assembly also has own source revenue, and that is one of the area that we can also use. Plus even the public parking that is here, we also, if somebody who is not a member of this county assembly or a visitor who is coming for an official business here, then we might need to have the committee on revenue and finance. We need to make some organization so that we start collecting revenue for anybody who uses our parking. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Douglas.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Douglas Musyoka, MCA representing the great people of Masi Ward in Mwala Sub-County. I would first take this opportunity to welcome the great pupils of St. Stephen Kikule Primary School. I don't know whether it is primary or junior secondary. GSS. St. Stephen Kikule GSS into these premises. When you see some of us seated here, we got our inspiration some times back. I remember when I was a Form 1 student, being the best student in my class, and the top 10 students across the entire institution, we were taken for an academic trip to the Kenya National Assembly. And then my dream started there. I said one day I'll be a legislator, not only in the county government of Machakos, but I'm still dreaming for future, for the better future. So you can also start dreaming, and we hope that in very near future, some of you will be here taking our positions and carrying out legislation for this great county of Machakos.
Sure.
Madam Speaker, back to the main business. I stand here to support the report tabled by the Honorable Member and Chair of the Lands Committee, Mheshimiwa Ndwiki. And there is a saying that goes that it is not done until it's done. As an assembly, we cannot complain, we cannot pass our complaints to the county public service board, for the county assembly service board, for maybe, and we say that for negligence to secure the premises owned by the county assembly of Machakos. But as per the committee recommendations, I will just echo the words of the minority leader, Mheshimiwa Kavyu, that the county assembly service board should give a notice of vacation to the executive to vacate the so-said premises so that we can utilize that land. Failure for their vacation, maybe the board, I don't know whether it is legally correct. I have never read somewhere that the county assembly can collect rent, or maybe can have some source of income. I've not seen it in our standing orders. But maybe you need to engage the executive on the best remedy solution to the foresaid piece of land. Secondly, Madam Speaker, we note that the other day we passed our county assembly development plan for the next 5 years. And when you go to my office in Block B, you find that we are sharing one office, 3 members. 3 members are sharing the same office. And just for our privacy and for smooth operations while we are in this institution, we could utilize the same piece of land and maybe do another block. We also need a modern cafeteria for the members. We need some grounds. We also need some extra parking. Like today, this morning, I was almost forced to park my car outside, despite the efforts that the Assembly Service Board has put to expand our parking. So maybe, as the report recommends, we need to move up with speed, demolish the wall, which is in between here, clear the ground, and as we plan for doing other structures, for remedy we can set the extra space for parking for our staff, and also for members of the county assembly. Otherwise, thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity, and I stand to support the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable PK, Honorable Maike, Honorable Joanna, Honorable Brian Kisila, in that order.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I would like to appreciate the Committee for Lands for doing a good job through their committee observations, through their committee findings, and also giving up the committee recommendations. Madam Speaker, it has been established well that the disputed plot number 561101 clearly belongs to the assembly. Therefore, it is the property of the assembly, where the law is telling us that the county assembly service board is the custodian of all the assets which belong to the assembly. Therefore, there is no dispute as to which land. The land belongs to the assembly. Madam Speaker, I'm raising to implore members, and all of us will discuss that if the one colonial chief Colonial Mbidi, Kano. Yeah. It's written Colonel Mbidi authorized the construction of this building. Madam Speaker, the CCM, who I understand is it Mr. Nzomo? Dr. Bishop Nzomo, under Committee Observation 4.0, Roman 2, they are in contradictory. That the CCM is saying that he was not aware whether there was anything of such nature being constructed in that plot number. And then now the chief officer is saying that is not providing whether he underwent the due diligence. Madam Speaker, we have to ask ourselves this question. In an event, we find that we have two conflicting issues here. One is the assembly, where we have claimed that this land is ours. Number two, we have taxpayers' money, which was used. As minority leader and talked about that building was being constructed, Madam Speaker, before a building is being done, we have the procedures, that is due diligence, we have the approvals. Are we saying that we are going to let the one chief officer free? Are we saying that we cannot have a remedy to that effect? Madam Speaker, the law provides that the law will not serve a wrong without a remedy. This committee ought to have told us how much money which already has been spent to that building. Because taxpayers' money must be accounted for, we have the laws which govern. Madam Speaker, I would like to challenge the committee that in their observations, they should have told us whether the payment has been done to the contractor or not. So that now from that point, we can even go further. If it is found that taxpayers' money has been misappropriated, then we recommend appropriately that the prosecution should take the charge because taxpayers' money cannot be used anyhowly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable PK.
Madam Speaker, before I sit down, the minority leader has raised a point. I don't know where he is, that he challenge the Committee of Finance to come up with the ways on how we can raise revenue. I want to inform minority leader in his absence that we have the Public Finance Management Act, which provides it is only the Minister for Finance who can create a fund. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Mike.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to stand here so that these students may see me, because I know they are used to seeing me in the televisions, and I never wanted them to see from here. My name is the famous Boniface Maeke from Kalama Ward, and I want to say to Mheshimiwa Ndawa, thank you very much. I think this is your third time bringing your students here from the fifth time. I believe you've broken the record. And I remember sometimes back I was in one of the secondary schools speaking to young people. And I want to encourage the students, just as Mheshimiwa said, that you are the future of Kenya. So we encourage you to continue reading, put efforts in your studies. And time is gone when people never went to school to become Waheshimiwas. All the people you see here, we have engineers, we have masters holders, we have lawyers, we have every caliber of people here. And education is the key to everything. So put a lot of efforts in whatever you are doing in your education, and I congratulate you and I congratulate the teachers, and I wish you well, even as you study here and as you go back to your school. I'll arrange with your Mheshimiwa to come and speak to you, because sometimes I'm a motivational speaker to the students. Now, back to the business of the day. One, I'm going to say thank you very much to the chair. of Mheshimiwa Ndweki, his people calls him Professor because he has done some good work together with the committee, and I believe this is one of the reports which is clear and to the point among the many reports we've been receiving, good reports we've been receiving. But I must congratulate them because they did a proper work and they did a good job. However, I'll ask myself, any project that is done by the executive emanates from this same house? Because we are the same people who give the Department of, is it DU? DU, the same money. How did that whole process skip our attention that the DU was planning to construct an office? How did they construct an office? Because I'm an engineer, the earliest they can take is 2, 3, 4 weeks. Until we waited for them, they construct and they finish. I believe the recommendation which have been done, and as what happens as per the law, and which has been explained even by the Honorable Madam Speaker, that if you construct a property to someone's land, it will definitely automatically belong to that someone's land. However, the fact remains that there is separation of power distinctly between the county assembly and the executive. But now there is the reality on the ground. As much as there is that legally separation of power, there is the realistic. Because most of these lands, you'll find that some of them have not been transferred. Like, I have a case of the land that I'm using. That land is a public land, and you'll find the custodian of that public land, maybe it is also the executive. So as we solve these things, let's be very, very, very...
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
I think I don't want to be informed because I'm just trying to lay the point, because you cannot know what
Granted.
Point.
Granted. Madam Speaker, thank you so much. We cannot allow Honorable Maeke to continue misleading the House, and also we have students. Executive does not own public lands. If you want to own a public land, it's provided for by government. We have also the devolution, and we talk about county government, which is consist of county assembly and the executive. Thank you.
Thank you for the
Thank you for the information.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm more well informed because land has been devolved. And lands comes to, there are two custodians of land. The Lands Commission that takes the lands that is occupied by the national, like secondary schools, you'll find it under Lands Commission. The land has also been devolved to the counties. So you cannot say that the county does not own land. That is a misinformation also. It's a total misinformation, but whatever I'm trying to say, and I need members to understand, land has been devolved. For example, you'll find...
Honorable Mike, you did not get Honorable PK's point.
Yes.
He said land belongs to the county government of Machakos, which constitutes of the executive and the county assembly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm well guided. So I was saying we need to act swiftly as the committee has recommended. Point number one, there are cells that hold people there. There are buildings that are held. So what we should not even give them more time. I believe the earliest time we give them 14 days for vacation, and then because the budget is being prepared next week, if the September budget comes, that is the, what do you call it, the budget that comes to top up. Supplementary budget comes, we put money through the CASIB, we construct a very strong perimeter wall like this one which was constructed, and we utilize that land immediately. Because sometimes land is very emotive. Like for me, I felt a lot of loss because we were losing a lot of land. I was reading at the report, and you'll see a lot of impunity, even with the CEO, openly saying, and I was listening to Mheshimiwa, and I was putting the words, how the CEO is saying, I don't know. How can you be a CEO and you are such an ignorant person, and you are building at the center of the town where land is very expensive and you cannot do that. And just to inform the members, I know Mheshimiwa, majority is not around, that cannot be converted, because those are sales. They cannot be converted to an office. We need proper, good drawings, you know, because the way they've been constructed are constructed as sales to hold criminals inside there. So we need those things demolished at their cost. They remove them there, because if now we start saying the contractor has not been paid, that is not our job to know. Two wrongs don't make a right. Somebody has to be responsible, because if now we will get into a legal struggle of the contractor has not been paid, the contractor will be paid. You cannot construct on a road reserve and then you claim that you are contractor. So it is upon the CEO, just like Mheshimiwa PK, Peter Kilonzo has said, the CEO, somebody has to take responsibility. Madam Speaker, it is high time, if we just bring reports here, recommend good things, and nothing is happening, let somebody take responsibility. Because if somebody takes responsibility, it acts as a deterrent to the future people, and we are going to set a bad precedent. So we need, on top of this report, I would implore the Lands Committee, so that we deter people in the future putting this county into a big mess. Because I believe if this land belonged to somebody and they just went constructed, I believe they constructed day and night. Because even for me, I never saw the construction. What I saw was just the roof. They did it, I don't know how they did it. So, Madam Speaker, we need also to have recommendation to the CEO and the CCM to bear responsibility. And if they bear responsibility, not as punishment, but they should understand that they should not just construct anywhere. Otherwise, tomorrow at the bus park, you will find anything constructed in this ward. Madam Speaker, I stop there and I say thank you for the opportunity. And we are happy people, because now I feel, for the first time, I feel people are doing their work and pushing the right press buttons for the work to be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable Johanna, then we wind it up with Honorable Brian.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this report by the Committee of Lands regarding the land which, according to this report, really belongs to the County Assembly of Machakos. Madam Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya, Chapter 61, one says that all land in Kenya belongs to the people of Kenya collectively, as a nation, as communities, and as individuals. Madam Speaker, it continues in 2 to say that public land shall vest and be held by a county government in trust for the people resident in the county, and shall be administered on their behalf by the National Land Commission. So, Madam Speaker, the county government of Machakos is divided in, consists of 2 arms, as clearly is known to us, and even as Honorable Ndawa has also indicated. And Madam Speaker, the 2 arms are the executive and also the county assembly. Madam Speaker, we note that the county executive has their headquarters. It has where the head of the executive is housed, a very nice big compound, which is very spacious. And equally, Madam Speaker, the headquarters for the other arm is this county assembly premises, which equally requires a very spacious space, because we host a lot of activities here. Madam Speaker, there is a lot of congestion, especially when we are vetting or interrogating the officers from the executive, especially during the budget making process. We are forced to park outside, and the space really here is not enough. So, Madam Speaker, I really agree with the recommendation that we require more space here, Madam Speaker, and I concur with them when they recommend that we need to fence off the entire compound and demolish the wall, which is just immediately after the block which houses your office. So, Madam Speaker, we need enough space. We need to relocate all the other structures which do not belong or serve this assembly directly, because we have a lot to do with this compound, and therefore I think Honorable Ndwiki, as our chair, I want to applaud you, because the law says negligence is no defense, and by somebody coming to dig a foundation without due diligence, constructing, it costs us nothing to just watch anybody do the construction without due diligence and finish, and then eventually vacate, because law must be followed, and we are a house of order. And I can remember, Madam Speaker, at some point, as a Assembly Service Board, we were accused. Somebody, I don't want to mention their names, almost thought that we had been paid or sold that portion of land when a new construction was seen to be cropping up. So this report brings a lot of clarity that law was not followed, and the same report gives a way forward that because law must be followed, we give notice of vacation, and I am sure we are up to that task. We can very easily do that as a board, although I don't want to talk that on your behalf, but I want to say we are really grateful for the committee lands assisting the County Assembly Service Board to unearth the dilemma which was there regarding the same piece of land. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Johanna. Honorable Brian.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I'm a very happy person today because my report has come to the floor of the House, despite it must have had a lot of obstacles, this report. And it must have felt a lot of, it must have gone through a lot of resistance, because our report was ready in October 2024. And first of all, we need to investigate why, when I stood here 2 weeks ago, Madam Speaker, you ruled me out of order. But I was just trying to find out, how can a report be ready, has been forwarded by our clerk for balloting the business, but it has never seen itself on the floor of the House. We need to investigate why the report took that long. Notwithstanding.
Why I ruled you against that is because you are introducing another subject matter into a different subject matter. You have to separate issues.
Well guided, but coming back, I'm well guided, Madam Speaker. Coming back to this, I am going on record as a defender of the property for county assembly land. And whether I'm going to come for my third term or fourth term, I'll be showing somewhere where I'll be saying I defended that land. First of all, I don't have an office up to now. When I realized young people are coming in the second assembly, I gave it out to my younger brothers to have an office. The office which was available was not enough for all of us. And I decided that I can actually stay without an office for the sake of the newcomers. Now, when you start saying that we should start allocating land to majority leader, when actually some of us don't have an office, it actually beats the purpose. That office, that land, belongs to the County Assembly of Machakos. You can imagine if the councillors who are here before allocated this land for other use, where will we be having offices today? Where will we be having an extra chamber? Where will we be having extra car park, which you have done today? So let's not rush. My brother, Honorable Dawa, let's not rush and make conclusions that we are going to allocate an office to my very good friend, majority leader. Let him go and look for land somewhere else. Just like the way we look for land. But he cannot come and become a grabber of land in the name, because that is grabbing. That is grabbing. So, Madam Speaker, I want us to move very fast to the recommendations, and I want to thank my chairman and my fellow committee members, because we have proved beyond any reasonable doubt that this land belongs to the County Assembly of Machakos. And the custodian of this land is County Assembly Service Board. So whoever is on that land, and as a chair of DU, because we are housing the fire extinguisher space, we have budgeted and given them land for fire extinguisher at the People's Park. Let them move. And let us fence that land, and in our budgeting process, let us come up with a very detailed plan of how we are going to use that land. Most of our staff don't have parking. Most of us don't have offices. In fact, that's the next place where we should build a modern office buildings, which even includes cafeteria, evening joints where we can interact, because the reason why we see most of us not bonding together is there was a place where we are going in the evening and interacting over a social gathering. We'll be very far. I don't want to make it very official because we have got children here. But if we had a very nice hotel there, where even members of other county assemblies can come, and we have a space where we can reside with them and have an evening do together. And when, at the end of the year, when Madam Speaker is hosting us for end of year party, where we have a nice place where we can sit down. So there's a lot of plan we can put in that place. So, Madam Speaker, the land is grabbed. It was being grabbed. And that is the recommendation number 7 on page 9. The plot was being grabbed. And if we had not reason to the fact that it was being constructed, it was being grabbed. Number 2, we need to construct the fence. Number 3, we need to issue vacation notice. Madam Speaker, please, as a chair of County Assembly Service Board, rescue our land. Let us have our land back. And I want to commend you together with the members of County Assembly Service Board. You have done a fantastic job in the last 3 months. If you look at the interior of this assembly, it's very beautiful. Even we have places where we can relax. Grass is being planted. There is additional parking, although it's not enough. But you have done a good job. So the next thing, we finish our new chamber. As we are finishing our new chamber, let us put a fence there. And before we leave, before we vacate in 2 years and 3 days, in 2 years and 2 days, before we vacate this place, let us leave something there, that it can be a legacy, that the third assembly left a mark to the people who are going to come back here and be representing people of Machakos. I am very happy with my chairman. Thank you, chairman, for standing firm. Thank you for bringing such a good report. I am very contented. I refuse the statement which was there before, and the inquiry was the right thing to do. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Brian Kisila, and also want to applaud you for intervening so that we can recover our land. So thank you. That was your initiative, and today we can be proud to say that our land is back. The County Assembly Service Board that I chair is going to take initiative and take the recommendations very seriously and implement them. Thank you, members. May I invite Honorable Ndwiki to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm happy today to congratulate my members, the members of this assembly, for adopting this report. Madam Speaker, this was not an easy, an easy task, but with your support that you showed to the committee, to the committee members, we cooperated well and we came up with this report. So I'm happy, and I hope that all the recommendations in this report will be acted upon. I want also to thank all those who contributed toward this report and say that indeed this is the right time to repossess or to protect what belongs to this assembly, Madam Speaker, because of our work is to represent and to oversight and to legislate. So in the spirit of representation, we also represent ourselves as we represent the other members of the community. Madam Speaker, this is not the past report. We have several coming. We have several inquiries and statements on matters of the land. So I wish and I urge you, Madam Speaker, to give the same, to show the same support, so that we came up with good reports that we give guidelines on the matters to do with the land. Because you all know that land is a motive, and we have several irregularities on the matters of land in Machakos, starting from Mavoko and everywhere. So because there are several statements of the way, I wish all will be dealt with accordingly. So, Madam Speaker, Honorable PK from Wala requested for some, from Biuni, requested for maybe prosecution of the officers involved. But I want to say that it is not the work of this committee. Our work was to bring the report whether the land belongs to the county assembly or the circumstances under what the land was granted. And now we are happy that the land is back to the assembly. So there are other committees, investigative committees, others committee for maybe
your powers.
Justice.
The committee has powers
yes.
To recommend for investigations
yes.
by the police or whoever is involved for prosecution of those who are concerned. It has. Proceed. Yeah, conclude. So I was just correcting you that don't say you don't have powers. You can recommend. Recommendation is allowed. And
thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm well
agencies
guided.
Take it up.
I'm well guided, Madam Speaker. However, I was saying that the fact that you don't recommend for the prosecution, there are other avenues that can make follow-up to this report and maybe have something to that if you so wishes. So I'm happy and I thank you everyone for this and hope that all will be well. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you everyone for the support of this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ndwiki. Good work. I now put the question that pursuant to Standing Order 190, Suborder 5, this House adopts the Committee on Lands and Energy Inquiry Report on the statement regarding unauthorized construction of plot number PDP number 56/2018/01 laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 5th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m. See you then, members.